Hey guys, welcome back to Team FYB. Today we're doing something special for you. We're doing an Edison format Blackwing deck profile. Blackwings have always been a pet deck of mine, and I've gone undefeated at all the Edison events I've attended with this deck. In saying that, I've only attended 2 Edison tournaments because there's not many out here in Australia. Let's get into it. Starting us off with the main deck, we have 3 copies of Blackwing Sirocco the Dawn. This is your Cyber Dragon of the deck. If your opponent controls a monster and you don't, you can normal summon this without tribute. This is the top of your totem pole in the Blackwing Archetype. You can search out any other Blackwing in your deck, and back in this time, this was essential. Next highest on the totem pole, you have Blackwing Sure the Blue Flame. Sure the Blue Flame is your standard normal summon going first. He is, again, the biggest aside from Sirocco. He has a great battle effect where he destroys a monster by battle. You can special summon a Blackwing monster from your deck with 1500 or less attack. Your third highest on the totem pole here is Borrow the Spear. Now, Borrow the Spear, as most of you, anyone who plays modern Blackwings know, it's a free special summon if you control another Blackwing monster. Does piercing damage. Great card. Next is the smaller Blackwings. We have 3 copies of Blizzard the Far North. Blackwing Recursion is essential back in Edison format. Blizzard the Far North lets you specials back any of your level 4 or lower Blackwings. Normally it'll be one of these 2. Goes into your synchro plays or just another body on board. Next is arguably the heart and soul of the Edison format Blackwing deck is Kalut the Moon's Shadow. Now, Kalut is your honest of the deck, boosts any Blackwing in the damage set by 1400. This, at 3, made the deck a force to be reckoned with, and one of the best cards in the deck. We also are playing the Vayu package, playing 3 Vayu to pair up with your 3 Sirocco. Cannot be used as synchro material, but generally you're going to either set this on turn 1 with an Icarus attack, or you special summon it off of Shura's effect, and it actually negates that effect because it's not a condition. And then you use it to synchro in your graveyard, or you can make some of your level 5 synchros with the Shura. Then one of, because it was actually limited at the time, Gale the Whirlwind. This card was absolutely nuts back in the day. If your opponent had a Stardust Dragon on the field, you can just normal summon this effect to target the Stardust and just attack over it. Aside from that, you can special summon it if you control another Blackwing. Like I said, you can halve the attack of any monster. Permanent halving, so you can use it multiple times if you're able to recur it, or if your opponent's monster stays on the field. Also, a level 3 tuner essential for the deck. Onto the non-engine, we're playing 2 Dark Grepher. Dark Grepher is used to dump your Siroccos and your Vayus to the graveyard if they're dead in hand. Also, it helps fuel up for the next card we're going to show you. It's Dark Arm Dragon. Dark Arm Dragon was limited to 1 in the couple formats prior. This is the boss monster of the Blackwing deck. Without this, I don't know how well Blackwings will. Well, they don't necessarily need this. This is more of a win more card, but Blackwings have so much control over the graveyard. This is instant one of, because it's at 1. Another big boss monster was Gorz, the Emissary of Darkness. It's Edison format. You have to play Gorz. For people who aren't familiar with Gorz, Gorz is essentially a hand trap. If your opponent declares an attack, if your opponent inflicts battle damage to you, you can special summon this if you control no other cards, and then you also special summon a token with equal to the damage you were dealt. Lesser known effect is if you take burn damage, it can also special summon itself for the same condition and deal the same damage to your opponent. Just the 1 DD Crow, it's a good little flex card here. Hand traps weren't the biggest deal back in Edison format, but DD Crow is one of the best. It hits more decks than it doesn't. Just a one-off in the main. Onto the spells, we have, unfortunately, only 2 Black Whirlwind. Black Whirlwind was limited to 2 in this format. I can see why Blackwings, in my opinion, is one of the strongest decks in the Edison format. But yeah, this is your well, your Black Whirlwind. This is the original card. I'm sure any Blackwing players know what this card does. But essentially, if you normal summon a Blackwing, you can search your deck for any Blackwing monster from your deck with less attack than the monster summoned. One thing to take note of is if your monster has more attack on the field, let's say you have a field spell or something for some reason, and you summon Sirocco and it has 2,000 attack, you can search you summon a Shura, you can search another Shura. We've got Brain Control, Heavy Storm, and Allure of Darkness. Brain Control steals your opponent's monsters. Heavy Storm is a staple in this format. You blow up all the back row. And Allure of Darkness because we play a Dark Attribute deck. Onto the traps, we have main trap of the deck, Icarus Attack. All your monsters except for the handful of techs you play are Wing Beasts. Even the DD Crow is a Wing Beast, so it's never really dead. Icarus Attack is your main aggressive and defensive strategy in this deck, aside from attacking with Kalu. On to some other traps. We have Bottomless Trap Hole to stop some big summons. This is great against just about everything not named Stardust Dragon. It does trade 1-for-1 with a Caius if this is all you have on board. We side some things for Monarchs, but overall this is a good card. Great in the mirror, great in most other decks. The only thing it doesn't stop is Stardust Dragon. But for the Stardust Dragon, we play Two-Dimensional Prison. Two-Dimensional Prison banishes cards rather than destroys them. That gets around, it's a battle trap, gets around the Stardust destruction effect. Speaking of Stardust, we have one Starlight Road because Heavy Storm is a thing in this format. Starlight Road, if your opponent would destroy 2 or more cards you control, you can actually, if anyone would destroy 2 or more cards you control, you can negate that and special summon a free Stardust Dragon from your deck. I've used this before in the past in conjunction with my own Heavy Storm to feign blowing up my own back row, flipping this because I needed a big body on board. It's a very niche play, but it comes up when you need it. Some of which staples, we have the one Mirror Force. Mirror Force was at 1. It's a good battle trap, destroys all attack position monsters your opponent controls when the attack is declared. Then we have the one Solemn Judgment. It's your Omni Negate, the only Omni Negate you play. It's a good card. And last but not least, we play the one Trap Dust Shoot. Trap Dust Shoot was legal in this format, so we play it. Onto the extra deck, we've got some level 8 synchros here. We play the one Stardust Dragon. We can hard make this, but generally this is going to be to summon off the Starlight Road. One Dark End Dragon. This is just a great card to send monsters your opponent controls. It's non-targeting, it's good to have. Colossal Fighter is great against any warrior decks. Otherwise, it just keeps coming back because you can actually summon itself off its own effect. Then we play the one Thought Ruler Archfiend and one Blackwing Silverwind the Ascendant. Thought Ruler Archfiend it's great for just sitting on a big body. You don't make too many 8s too often in this deck, but they're there because you can make them. Onto the 7s, we play one Black Rose Dragon and 2 Blackwing Armor Master. Black Rose Dragon is board's reset. Blackwing Armor Master is indestructible by battle, and you take no battle damage from battles involving that. As well as that, it has the effect to reduce monsters' attack to 0 if they have a wedge count. So essentially, though, it's a 2-turn setup. You have to set it up. Generally, you're just going to make this off of Vayu, but you can hard make this sometimes as well. Onto some 6s here. We have the 2 best 6s in the game. We have Bryanak and Goyo Guardian. Goyo Guardian is the biggest synchro you're making that's under level 8. It's very easy to pump out 6s in this deck because of Bora and Blizzard, as well as Shura. It steals monsters. Love this card. You just need to be careful when you use this because you don't want to fall into the trap of getting Goyoed with your opponent's Goyo. Bryanak is an answer to just about every other card. It does target, but there's no targeting negation back in this format. Everything can be targeted, not once per turn back then, so very good card. And then for the 2 Blackwing level 6s, we play 2 Blackwing Armwing. We generally, again, make this off of the Vayu play. You can hard make this to do the big piercing damage. Essentially, its effect is if you attack a defense position monster, it gains 500 attack, and it does piercing. Onto some 5s, we have the Magical Android and the Catasta. Catasta is great for any non-dark deck, and Magical Android is just a little bit bigger than Catasta, and the Life Point Gain comes up. Then we play the 1 Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon for any Cyber Dragon players or any Gadget players. It's FTK against that deck. Onto the side, we have 2 more copies of the DD Crow, the Light Imprisoning Mirror, because, well, Light Swans were a thing back then, and deck can struggle against them sometimes. Play the 2 Cyber Dragons for the Chimera Tech. Also, it's just good going second sometimes. You just need more monsters on the field. We play the 2 Royal Oppression in the side. Royal Oppression was legal this format, and Blackwings play very well with this card. It's, for anyone who doesn't know, you can any player can pay 800 life points and essentially negate the special summon of a monster. It's a recursive Solemn Warning, and Blackwing being an aggro control deck, you can see great use out of this. We play the 1 Delta Crow Anti-Reverse for anyone who's playing more back row than we are. We are already playing the Heavy Storm, but Delta Crow, it could be something else, but for the time being, we're keeping it in. Some more tech cards I have here. I have 3 Thunder King Raya for any decks that decide they want to search a lot. Also, it's a walking Solemn Warning for anything that summons from the extra deck or has a summoning condition that's unclassified. 2 Pulling Rug for the Monarch matchup. This is what you put in and you take out the bottomlesses generally against the Monarch matchup. Negates their effects and summon, and it's a good card. Oh, it doesn't negate the summon, sorry. It negates the activation of their effects and destroys them. Then we play the 1 MST. Again, back row can really hurt the Blackwing deck, so MST in the side. We don't main it because we have the 3 Icarus attack. It's just there in case we need it. So that has been my Edison format Blackwing deck. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And this is George signing out.